I wanted the set clothes.
The model says she posed topless on a motorcycle for a magazine, but the photos weren't published, and she wasn't paid.
I thought I could trust him.
What they need is lie detector machines sitting right here on each table.
You can look at me with those gorgeous brown eyes. All you like, Miss Pendleton. I don't believe you.
Pendleton says her former friend, Jerry Lehman, asked if he could take topless photos of her on his Harley-Davidson in exchange for a modeling fee. Portia claims she did the topless photo shoot, but Jerry never paid her the money he promised.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Judges, number 195 on the calendar in the matter of Pendleton versus Lehman. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
All right, Miss Pendleton, you say Mr. Lehman owes you $1,200 for something about a photo shoot, negatives, and a Harley motorcycle. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
I found it rather difficult to follow the flow of your complaint, so why don't you tell me about this photo shoot first?
Okay, well, basically, in June of 1996, Mr. Lehman approached me with a business opportunity. He told me that...
How did you know Mr. Lehman so that he could approach you?
Oh, he approached me at the bar and restaurant that I worked with. He'd been coming in there for approximately 2 years, and I've gotten to know him over that period of time. So in June, Mr. Lehman approached me. He stated that his motorcycle was going to be published in a magazine on the parts, the custom work he does on Harleys, and he needed a model to model with his motorcycle. He told me that the magazine that it was going to be published for was called Easy Rider. It was a biker magazine, and the pictures detailed, you know, bikini, and some of them were going to be topless. And, you know, I checked them out. They were a little cheesy, but not really bad. And I went ahead and I bought a copy of the magazine and the type of pictures that I was told I was going to be taken. At that point in time, I told Mr. Lehman I'd be interested in doing it. I was told that it would cost, I would be paid $1,200 if I did my own hair and makeup, and he would take the pictures.
So what you're saying is he said that he would pay you $1,200 to do the photo shoot?
Yes.
It's totally incorrect.
So, at that point in time, I went down to a shop probably in the middle of October, and we went ahead and took 2.5 rolls of film. I told Mr. Lehman that, one, I wanted the set closed because I didn't want a whole bunch of people, you know, lagging about, you know, around. And the second thing is that once we were done with the shoot, that I get the negatives and the pictures back of the pictures that he wasn't going to use, because I just didn't want them, you know, floating all over the place. The only reason that I didn't get an agreement, a contract with Mr. Lehman is because I've known him for 2 years. I considered him a friend, and I thought I could trust him. If I would have known that it would come to this point, I would have had him go through my agency to get me to take these pictures. I have my portfolio book here with the type of shots that I normally do.
Not interested.
Okay.
I assume from the fact that you have a portfolio, and you said something about your agency, that you are really a model and you work in this restaurant that you work in sort of to make money.
Part-time. Yeah,
part-time.
Try to.
In between modeling jobs. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you have a modeling job, you do the shoot and you get paid.
You do get paid, but it's a billing process. They bill, the agent bills the client, and you get it within 30 days.
Right. Now you're not dealing with an agent.
Yes.
You're dealing with a friend.
Yes.
So you do the shoot. Did you say to him, give me my money?
No, I expected that it would take between 2 to 3 weeks after it was published.
Why after it was published? When you do a magazine or a photo shoot, you do it, and they may publish it 6 months later. They may never publish it, but you get your money.
Well, because that's what Mr. Lehman had told me.
What did he tell you?
He told me that after I took the pictures, the magazine normally takes between 2 to 3 weeks to go ahead and pay. And that's what he was going to give the money for.
Something doesn't sound right there to me. You're not waiting for the magazine, Miss Pendleton, to publish your pictures. You don't give a rat's behind whether the magazine publishes your pictures or not.
No, that's true.
Right? You were doing the photo shoot for him.
Yeah.
Unless your arrangement with him was that You only got paid if the magazine bought the pictures.
Correct.
That's what he says in his answer. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
But he was saying that he was going to wait and give you the money until after he received the pictures were published. That's what he told me.
You can look at me with those gorgeous brown eyes all you like, Miss Pendleton, but I'm telling you, if you're in the business, you know that a magazine could say, I'm not publishing this picture, I don't like this lady, I don't like what she looks like, I don't want the bathing suit, I don't like her hair, I don't like her figure, I don't like her face, and I'm not going to publish the picture.
Yeah.
Right? So unless your agreement with Mr. Lehman was that you got paid if they selected your picture, your conversations with him about waiting until after the magazine was published doesn't make sense.
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to introduce a witness because Mr. Lehman had stated the conversation with another individual.
Oh, I will hear your witness. And your name?
Stacy Kirsten.
Who are you?
I used to work with Porsche at this bar and restaurant many months ago. And I met Jerry because he used to come in there once in a while, and he introduced himself to me with a business opportunity, which never really came to be, but he told me that he had done these pictures with her and that they were published, and he told me, quote unquote, he got a very good sum of money for the pictures.
Were the pictures ever published, sir?
No, ma'am.
So that you were just pulling this lady's leg?
I never told her that.
What'd you tell her?
I haven't never discussed Porsche's business with this woman. They are friends. I have met her. I have talked to her on occasions. I have never discussed any business with her at all.
Are you a photographer or a biker?
A biker, not a photographer. I met Porsche. She has done quite a few of these contests, bikini contests, different contests, and when I talked to her, she seemed to always be strapped for money. So I told her, this magazine right here, that if we took pictures and they accepted them, it pays $500, and it states it right in here. She gets $350, I get $150. I told her at that point, because we had an arrangement where I was building a motorcycle that I'd bought, and I planned on selling it to her way before this even happened. I told her that if they went in, she could have my $150, keep the $500. She told me at that point, fine, why don't we just deduct it from the bike?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He made a comment that if she had slept with him, you know, he would have given her the bike for free. God is my witness, he said that.
And later today,
He offered to pay you $12 for your cat.
$12.50, Your Honor. He tells me the cats are disposable.
I suppose he feels that same way about his dog.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry Lehman says he took topless photos of his friend Portia Pendleton so they could enter the pictures in a contest. Portia says she was to be paid no matter what.
She took the pictures, sir.
Yes, yes, we took the pictures.
All right, so let's move on with it.
But she never filled out the release form and the other requirements, so they could not be sent in.
Did you ever fill out release forms?
No, and the reason that was never done is because I had never agreed to do a contest, and this is a letter that Mr. Lehman wrote me, and he states that a photo of you holding the signed release form with your driver's license is required. Now, if he's stating that I went down there knowingly to enter this contest, why was that never done? Because we had never had that type of agreement.
Well, just a second. Why didn't you ever sign the release when she came into the photo shoot?
To be honest with you, I didn't think about it. I've never done it before.
Good question.
Thank you.
I had not gone through their requirements and read all their requirements. All I knew is I had a few friends that had their girlfriends in the magazine. They said, send it in. When I went through and read everything after we took the pictures, got in touch with her and said, okay, we need to do this.
And what happened?
We never got it done. I didn't meet up with her.
What do you mean you never got it done?
I would only meet her where she worked.
So why didn't you bring it to where she worked?
She would only come in on certain days when she had a client. Lots of times I would go, she never showed up for work.
All right. Did you ever have a discussion with her about returning the negatives and all the other pictures to her?
No, ma'am.
Well, where are all the pictures and the negatives?
When I moved my facility in April, we cleaned out the office because I was moving into a small place. I threw everything away. It's 5 months after the fact. I didn't need it. I threw away a lot of my own stuff.
So you don't have them anymore?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if, in fact, any of these pictures surface, she now has the basis for a very substantial lawsuit against you. You understand that? Based upon what you just said to me. So you want to rethink that? Where are the pictures and the negatives?
I can only tell you the truth. They've been in the dumpster since April.
You better hope nobody takes them out.
Your Honor, he had even made comments to me when I discussed a business proposition with him. He made a comment that if she had slept with him, you know, he would have given her the bike for free. God is my witness, he said that. So, I mean, I think he has these pictures, and he did tell me they were published. He said
Just a second. Listen to me. If he told you at some time that the pictures were published and he made a lot of money, that's because he is a blowhard. Right?
It is true.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the $500 that you gave him for this bicycle.
Okay, because
Did you give him $500 as a down payment for the bike?
Yes, I gave
Good.
him. And he gave me the key.
Did she give you $500 for the bike?
She has never given me a penny in her life. And what they need is lie detector machines sitting right here on each table.
Show me the canceled check for the $500 that you gave him.
I didn't give him a check, I gave him cash, but he gave me the key to the motorcycle, and he told me that he would deliver the motorcycle in a couple of weeks because it was having mechanical problems.
Where did you get the $500 from?
From working.
So you keep all the money that you make in cash?
Some of it, yes, and then, you know, when I do my modeling jobs, I have the checks and I deposit them into my account.
In a bank account? In a checking account, because that's where you keep the money that you receive, because you have to pay taxes on it, right? You write checks for your rent, right?
That's true.
You write checks for your telephone,
But
right? Right?
That's correct.
You write checks for your credit cards, correct? I don't believe you. Kate, I believe him. I believe that what you just agreed to do was to do a contest. I don't believe that he agreed to pay you $1,200 even if the pictures weren't published. That's a lot of nonsense. He's not a photographer, he's a biker. And I don't believe that you gave him $500. So your case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back go to your right.
For a bottle of booze, you're going to give somebody a key to a $3,500 Harley Davidson, especially, you know, somebody that you're not in any type of relationship
She don't
for.
do any good without the motorcycle.
And now the next case.
Parties on Malcolm versus Tripp. Step forward, please.
Attorney John Malcolm says his cat Virginia was killed by his neighbor, Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald has offered to pay $12.50 to replace the cat. But John says that is not enough.
Mr. Tripp, this is your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Your dog killed the plaintiff's cat.
So they
You don't
say.
seem to deny that.
Well, I don't know that for sure neither.
Put your hands down, sir. From your answer to Mr. Malcolm's complaint, you sort of... Am I boring you?
Definitely. I apologize.
Well, then I'll try to make it as fast as possible. Mr. Malcolm, you two were neighbors?
Yes, we are.
I would like you to tell me what you observed. Give me the date of the incident.
July 29th, at about 1:15 in the morning, I was awoken by the loud barking of a dog and the scream of a cat. And this was a horrific scream. It wasn't like an ordinary cat fight. It was a bloody murder type scream. I got up out of bed, ran to the other end of the house, looked out the kitchen window, and in my field of view, which is about 30 degrees, I could see at least two people standing, not more than this distance from here to the dog, watching that dog attack our cat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell him how you really
It
feel.
stopped.
Tell him, Malcolm. Come on. Tell him.
How do I really feel?
Tell him how you
I
feel,
would like to
Malcolm.
have a piece of him. I
Yeah.
really would.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
John Malcolm says he witnessed the killing of his cat by his neighbor Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald says cats are disposable.
Where did this happen, sir?
This happened about 10 feet away from our front porch.
Okay, so it was on your property?
Yes, it was.
What did you do?
I ran to the back of the bedroom, got my pants and a flashlight, and ran out And I think I said something like, hey, you guys just killed my cat. The dog was already gone at that point. He was already gone.
You mean the defendant?
The defendant. His brother Rodney.
That's this young man here?
Yes, seated with the dog. And another young man, also with a close cropped haircut like that, turned and walked away. I knelt down and saw Virginia, and she was just ripped to shreds. She was crushed.
How long had you had the cat, sir?
I've had her for 12 years, and she's been a beloved family member. My wife and children have cared a great deal about her.
Okay, Mr. Tripp, I'll hear your side of the story, sir. I'm going to make this fast so that you don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Put your hands down.
I was woken up by my dad that said the cops were outside, wanted to talk to me about my dog killing a cat.
Listen to me. Slowly. You were awakened by your father.
Yeah, I was awakened by the old man. He woke me up, said, come outside. The cops want to talk to you about your dog killing a cat. So I went outside. I find this dude right here. He was kicking it. And then 2 cops and a dead cat. I get with my family, and they fill me in on what had happened.
Did you see what happened, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up here.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little more articulate than your brother.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on to that dog.
Come here, man.
Put the dog on a leash
The dog's on a leash.
and hold it. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, ma'am. I was woke by my friend Greg, the other witness that he mentioned. He came inside yelling that there was someone breaking into my vehicle. I went outside, and when I ran outside the front door, Max followed me. I observed the cat in the corner of my eye in my front yard. My dog ran over to the cat as I was running to the car. Ran to the car, I seen it got broke into.
Try looking at me.
The steering column and everything was busted out, and I could hear the cat screaming. So I look over, and next thing I know, he comes running outside. Your dog's killing my cat. Your dog's killing my cat. I was
But
like,
by
yes,
this time, sir, the dog and the cat were on his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
Yeah, after it was
Good.
in our front yard.
Sit down. So once this happened, which one of these 2 geniuses said to you, too bad about your cat, man?
This one.
Yeah, sounds right. All right, and he offered to pay you $12 for your cat. Because he said-
$12.50, Your Honor.
Because
he tells
he
me
said-
that cats are disposable. One's as good as another.
I suppose he feels that way about his dog.
Your Honor?
You don't feel the same way about your dog?
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Easy come, easy go.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Mr. Tripp, how old are you, sir?
22, ma'am.
22. And how do you support yourself?
Unemployed.
So you don't support yourself.
Correct.
How many times have you been arrested?
How many times have I been arrested?
That was my question. I understood my question.
You know, it's really, I want to say once. One time that I remember. He knows all about it. He was asking me about it the other day.
And who do you live with?
I live with my father,
Who else?
my dog, my brother, the other members of our family. Who do you live with?
You ever been in a drug rehabilitation program?
Ma'am, that's none of your business, I feel.
Well, I'll tell you what is my business, Mr. Tripp. I'm awarding the plaintiff $1,500. It's more than he's requested for the damage that was done to his family emotionally and the damage to his cat and the suffering that the cat suffered. Sir, you've only been arrested according to your statement once at this time in your life. You continue with that kind of an attitude when you're in court. I guarantee you this will not be the last time you're before a judge. That's all.
All right, sir, excuse. You may step out.
See that, right? That wasn't so bad, huh?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world, man. Why wasn't your cat in your yard? Why wasn't your cat in your house? If you had a $1,500
You can see what an
cat-
aggravation is having to deal with a young man like this who
Hey.
he just flat doesn't care.
It's not my fault. You're an old sap. Would you know Brian? Are you Brian's friend? Is that
Brian hasn't even been in our house.
Yeah, since he got bit by your Rottweiler.
Since he broke $250 worth of windows and burned our hedge with his bottle rockets.
Well, it's not my fault. His kids and your kids and my kids are all
I
corrupt.
mean, you want to
man.
go on and on and on?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go on and on and on.
I'm trying to be civil about this.
Oh, civil suit, civil action.
And it's
all good.
It's difficult under the circumstances
Civil codes.
not to resort to frontier justice.
And that's what he does. I don't know if it's because childhood problems that he had. You know, he got beat up by the kid that was taking his Twinkies all the time, so he had to pursue civil actions.
They were average neighbors.
This young man babysat for you, for your children.
$2,000 was missing. She said the babysitter did it.
We assumed it was him, and the police called me to verify that he was arrested 2 days later.
Two families at war.
Her former babysitter, 18-year-old Eric Wilson. 2 years ago, Eric was arrested for stealing money from Janet's home. Now, Janet alleges more money is missing and believes Eric is to blame.
Order and versus Wilson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, let me understand this case. Miss Spahn, this young man babysat for you, for your children,
Yes.
a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And at that time, he wasn't doing so well. You didn't know it at the time,
No, I did not.
but you had a drug problem,
Yes, I did.
and you had been involved in a series of criminal activity that you're not proud of now, I understand.
That is correct.
You're his mother.
Yes, I am.
While he was babysitting for you, he stole some money,
Yes, he did.
and he was arrested and prosecuted.
Correct.
What was your sentence?
I got theft charges. I was ordered to pay restitution in the amount that she had requested.
How much was that?
It was $900, I believe, and it ended up being $1,200 after all of the fees and everything, all the victim assistance, all of that. And I paid that in full, and I was ordered to go on to probation. I finished all my probation stuff. I did my community service, paid all my restitution.
What kind of community service did you have to do?
Weekend work crew. I'd have to go up into the mountains and dig trails and stuff, and kind of.
And according to your complaint, Ms. Spahn, you found out that there was more money taken that was originally either reported or somehow the paperwork, the police paperwork,
Yes.
Was lost.
It was not in the actual record, the original record, this is the original report, and this is the second report, which we did file within the statute of limitations, that showed the additional $900 was missing. Now, it was $1,100 originally, which we were paid the restitution after, the balance was paid, and this is the additional $900 that was missing, which is what I am here for.
Your neighbors.
Yes.
Ms. Spahn, if I find out that what this young man says in his answer is true, this is a sympathetic case on both sides. Because what this young man says, and his mother seems to confirm, is that in the last 2 years he has, in fact, turned himself around. Drug-free?
To a point, yes.
What do you mean to a point?
I've been working on it. I have been clean for about a month now.
What kind of drugs were you using?
Marijuana and alcohol.
You can't just work on that, sir.
Yeah.
You have to, after 2 years.
I know.
Stop.
It does take time, and it's kind of hard. It's
Well-
a difficult thing to do, and with the right people around me and the right kind of stuff in my head and not hanging around the bad crowd, I think I can do it.
Did you get your GED?
Yes, I did.
That says that you did here and that you scored rather well.
Yes, I did.
Have you been arrested in the last 2 years?
No.
Since this incident? You seem to say, the
Yes, he
smile
was.
on your face suggests to me that you know he's been arrested
Yes,
since.
he was. The officers actually called me at home.
When?
3 months later, my house was broken into. We assumed it was him, and the police called me to verify that he was arrested 2 days later. And that's when he went to the detention center up at Lookout Mountain.
I never went to Lookout Mountain. I did go to a detention center for a shoplifting charge, Mount View Detention Center.
Let's talk about the last year.
Okay.
Have you been arrested in the last year?
No.
You had to hesitate for a minute.
Well, I wasn't quite sure. I haven't been arrested. I haven't gone to jail or anything, no.
Well, I didn't ask you whether
I
you went
did
to
get a
jail. I asked you
ticket.
whether you were arrested.
I did get a ticket.
What kind of ticket?
Underage drinking.
Ms. Spahn, why is it, first, that that second amount of money, that $900, was not originally reported?
That was up to the sheriff that made the report out, and it explains it all here in this report.
Let me take a look at it.
Showing that the original $900 that was originally stolen was never made it onto this report. And that states it there.
How old are your children?
Almost 7, and the other one is 4.5.
So they were 2 and 5 when he babysat for you?
Actually, yes, around there.
Did he take good care of them?
Do I? Of course.
Did he take good care of
them? No.
But you used him as a babysitter frequently?
4 times.
And you were dissatisfied the first, second, and third time?
The third time.
The
And
third.
that's when we had found out that money started disappearing out of the house. I came home, my son had a bloody nose, he was in bed, he had blood all over his face and everything, and he had just left him. Obviously, he was going through my house at the time, rummaging through everything that I own.
You want to tell me about taking the money from her house?
Well, I was with my cousin, which was unmentioned to this point so far. He lived in Tennessee at the time, and I actually was not taking part in the theft of the money.
What do you mean you weren't? Listen to me. Mr. Wilson, I want to know. It's very important that when you answer questions that I pose to you, that you tell me the truth.
Right, I understand.
You understand that?
Yes.
I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear nonsense. I don't want to hear that you didn't take part in it. If your cousin was with you and you saw him take the money, and the reason he had access to her house is because you were there, then you're responsible. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is that the kind of excuse you were going to make to me?
No, not exactly.
Oh, well, then I'll hear your excuse.
It's okay. I guess I'll just say I took it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I drive by their
kids and
house.
your dogs up
I drive
our
by
yard.
their house and their little kids flip me off.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Janet Spahn claims her former babysitter, Eric Wilson, stole a large amount of cash from her house and wants him to fess up and pay her back.
Well, I'm being very serious with you. If your cousin was with you from Tennessee, which is what you say here, and that you took the rap for him.
I did.
But your cousin had access to her home through you.
Yes, she agreed. She agreed that my cousin could be with me when we were babysitting. She did agree to it. And when I got back the next day and when I found out the next morning that money was missing, I asked him, and we had gone shopping that night, and he had said he had some money left over. Let's go have a good time, you know. I didn't know it was stolen from her house.
But it had been stolen over a period of several days, not just one day. How many days was your cousin at the house with you?
I believe he did go twice with me.
Mm-hmm. You paid the restitution yourself. Did you ever try to get any money from your cousin?
No.
Why not?
Well, when my grandfather had died, my aunt and uncle, we were out playing basketball and stuff, and my uncle actually kind of assaulted me, so we haven't spoken to them since.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you asked that your cousin could accompany you in this babysitting job, and she gave permission.
Yes.
So your cousin did have access to her home through you.
Correct.
All right. Now, she says that there's an additional $900. Why did you keep so much cash in the house?
We had just sold a 1926 Model T in California here, and we had brought the cash home, and we had not deposited into the bank yet because we were having a carpenter come in to redo our basement. So he wanted to be paid cash, and it had only been 1 week that we had had the cash in the house.
Was the cash kept all in one place?
Yes, it was. It was in a sock rolled up in a locked bedroom behind a bed.
So how come you didn't know at one time how much was missing?
We knew that some money was disappearing. My husband was accusing me, and I didn't know where the money was at the time.
What do you mean, missing from the sock?
Yes, a little bit at a time. And then we put 2 and 2 together, and we had set up some tape in the bedroom door. So when the door had been opened and unlocked, that the tape would be stuck at the top of the door, which it was. He had entered the bedroom, and the sock was on the side of the bed with half the cash hanging out. That was the last night. That was when there was $1,100 taken out that was one day. He took $1,100 out.
How much money in total was in the sock?
$4,000 total.
And how much was
$2,000 ended up missing. $1,100 was retrieved through court and through the money that he had left. He had used credit cards out of my purse and everything else.
Did you do that?
No.
Who did?
I have no.
I have a
no
document right here.
recollection of that.
Let me see what you have.
brought up a card.
Yeah.
It was done on the same day that he had stolen the $1,100. It was notarized and said that that somebody had tried to purchase video equipment, which is what he bought with our money when they retrieved it.
Did you find your credit card?
Oh, yes, I did. The credit card had not been activated yet. So that's why they notified us. So all these things happen within like a week.
Okay. Now, I'd like you to tell me why you don't think that you should be responsible for this additional $900, which I believe was missing.
Well, when she did originally say it, it did change. The amount of what was missing changed 3 different times. We told the judge this at the original trial or original hearing. I pled guilty to the charge. I paid my restitution in full. I paid what the judge ordered me to pay. I paid what she asked the judge to pay, the requested amount. I paid the requested amount. I got off of probation. I paid all my restitution. I filled my debt to society. I'm trying to get back on the straight and narrow, working hard.
Okay. Mr. Wilson, this report suggests that there was some sort of a snafu in the police paperwork, that the money was reported missing, but somehow missed it when it was ultimately presented to the court. So we're faced with a situation where this lady is going to be out $900, which seems to be unfair. And on the other hand, you seem to suggest that you're trying to get your life back in order. And the fact that you've paid your debt to society, which is what you say, doesn't necessarily mean you've paid your entire debt to this lady, because she's still out an additional $900.
I never saw that $900.
Well, whether you saw it or not, if somebody took the money, it wasn't her 2-year-old, it wasn't her 4-year-old, you were involved with drugs and alcohol at the time. I don't know what your cousin was involved with, drugs and alcohol, or maybe he's just a thief. But either you or he, through you, because that's how he got access to her home,
Correct.
took her property. Somebody has to pay for that.
Correct.
There is something else in this complaint that, however, that bothers me, Ms. Spons.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She threatens to kill us and tells us she will not leave us alone until we move.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Wilson says after he was arrested for stealing from his neighbor, Janet Spahn, he paid the money back to her. Now Eric says Janet won't stop harassing him and his family.
What bothers me is that you folks are neighbors, and there's a suggestion in the answer that there's a lot of hostility that's still going on now from your end. Your husband, you're angry, and you do things to
Certainly.
harass them. You have a boy and a girl?
No, I don't. I have 2 sons.
Ms. Spahn, I assume that you let this young man babysit for you because you know his family, you know his mother. Did she always?
No, I did not.
Well,
We had just moved here. We had just moved to Colorado at the time, and I had asked his mother, assuming that she would, think that, if her son had good intentions to watch my children, if he did not, that she would not let him babysit. But she did, and she knew what his intentions were.
Well, I don't think
that was fault on my part.
No, I did not.
Ms. Spahn, I don't think that this lady knew what her son's intentions were.
I came over to their house and introduced myself, and they never even met my mother before I started babysitting.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many other children do you have?
I have 1 daughter,
How old is she?
15.
She okay?
She's Great.
She have any trouble with drugs, alcohol, school?
No, I think her brother's been a good example of a bad example, and she's everything against it because of that, whether that's good or bad. But she's very Christian and she's very straight.
Does your husband live in the house with you?
Oh, yes.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I run a bank.
And what about your husband?
He works for the school district.
So, and you have a long work history? Have you been
Yes.
working for a long time? How many years at the same job?
Well, I got promoted, so I went to a different position, but I've been in banking for 11 years.
And your husband, how long has he been working for the school system?
13 after he got out of college. He went right there, and he's been there for 13 years.
Let me tell you why I'm asking these questions, Ms. Spahn, so you'll understand. I've been around the family courts for a quarter of a century. And what strikes me is sad, has always struck me as being sad. You can expect a child to go off, get involved in drugs, alcohol, criminal activity, if they come from a family that is dysfunctional. But what I've seen more and more of is families that appear to be perfectly functional families have a child that just goes bad. And you hope that that turns around. And you never know when that's going to happen. So what I'm suggesting to you is you have 2 young boys. As good a parent as you are, as good an example as you set for your children, as law-abiding as you are, work history for over a decade, right out of school, got a job, and working in the same job, that's this lady and her husband. I'm sure they try to set a good example for this young man, and they don't know what happened.
Something went wrong.
It happens.
I know.
You have to feel sorry for that. Because, but for the grace of God, it could be you.
Or my kids.
Or your kids.
That's right.
So while there's no question that I believe that this young man is responsible for paying you, for making you whole, I think it's a tragic mistake for you and your husband to continue what I will refer to as a minor vendetta against the family. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So this is a neighbor. This lady did not hope for the kind of problem that she's having with this boy. And I have a sense, from looking at her face, that it ain't over yet.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You better straighten yourself out. Kids make mistakes when they're young, and they say, well, I have a whole lifetime to correct them. How old are you now, 17?
18.
18.
I just turned 18, and I was going to get my record sealed.
Well, you're not going to get your record sealed, sir, if you just got a ticket for underage drinking. That doesn't suggest to me a year ago or whatever, and you, Mr. Wilson, listen to me. You just told me 2 minutes ago that you've been clean for about a month. That isn't exactly a lifetime.
Right.
The mistakes you make when you're 15, 16, 17, and 18, sometimes you can't correct them because they create a lifelong habit. So you have choices that you have to make. And if you don't make responsible choices starting right now, sir, at age 18, you're going to suffer your whole life, and your mother's going to suffer her whole life, and your father's going to suffer his whole life. They ever do anything bad to you?
No.
Are they good parents?
Very good.
It's your responsibility now at age 18 to see to it that they have pleasure from you, not grief.
Right.
So you better start trying harder, much harder. All right, judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Here you are, ma'am.
Thank you.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She threatens to kill us and tells us she will not leave us alone until we move. And I just can't keep going like this. She put a sign up on her tree, which I could take pictures of, and told me that she will shoot my son if she comes in his area. Don't you dare laugh at me because I have 3 boys.
They called my father and told him that
So
we have
she
a
laughs
security
about this.
system
She has
and
her
a gun
little kids
comes near
flip
us.
them off.
They come near us again,
That's
we're
great
gonna blow
treatment
them
for
away.
a 4-year-old.
I drive by their house and their little kids flip me off.
Excuse me.
Yes.
She's not out there because she's in the house
so.
getting high with her husband. She would not know. Enough is enough. It's settled. She has everything. All we want to do is be left alone. You know,
Which
that's all we
will
want to
never
do.
happen until we move.
You felt close enough to her to share a bed together, but you weren't going to buy her a dress.
The exotic dancer says she feared for her life.
He made the threat that the two of us can no longer live at the same time, therefore one of us has to die.
But the relationship had some advantages.
And on June 1st, you let him go buy underwear for you.
Flowers says her ex-boyfriend, Gene Spector, became so threatening after she dumped him that she had to move out, and he should pay her costs.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is number 145 on the calendar in the matter of Flowers versus Spector. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Flowers, you and the defendant, according to your complaint, were romantically involved for a relatively short period of time. How long?
About 4 months.
And you say that when the relationship ended, he began stalking you?
He stayed outside of my apartment for 5 hours, and I called the cops at 4.5 hours.
Your Honor, it's absolutely not true.
Just a second. As a result of that, you say you have to move, you want him to pay all your moving expenses, your first and last month's rent, and the cost of changing your locks, all totaling, $3,100. That includes the week that you have to take off from work to go look for an apartment. That's what you want, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
You, on the other hand, sir, are countersuing for all the money that you say that you
I've
loaned to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
During the course of this brief 4-month relationship. You're going to tell me about what loans these were, and you seem to acknowledge on the countersuit that you owe him some money. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
You're going to tell me about that. So first, let's get to your claim.
Okay.
You met, you began to date, you dated for 4 months, something happened. Tell me what happened, and then what happened as a result of the breakup.
Okay, during the relationship, he was very jealous and calculating at times. He would constantly pick business cards.
True. I want to clarify.
Mr. Spector, I'm going to get to you.
Thank you.
He would pick business cards up off my table and make sure, read them and ask where I was at all times and who I was seeing and what I was doing and that sort of thing. And then at about the 3-month point, he read through my journal and told me that if I intended to destroy him, he would destroy me. And on June 15th, he made the threat that the two of us can no longer live at the same time, therefore one of us has to die. I do not feel...
Mr. Spector, Mr. Spector.
I do not feel safe living at the same residence that he has visited me several times.
Well, was it in June that you decided to break off this relationship?
Yes.
Anything particular happen at that time?
He took me to Napa Valley for my birthday on June 14th. We fought the whole time. He was, he told me at lunch on June 14th that he only had 65% of me. He wanted 100%. And I knew at that point that the relationship was definitely going in a direction. I had just gotten out of a very serious relationship, a marriage. And I told him many times that I did not have it to give to him. I wanted to take things slow and that I wanted things open such that if I wanted to see somebody else, I would let him know. I would give him that courtesy. I wanted the same courtesy from him. And I didn't have 100% to commit to him at that time.
So then you had this argument and broke up?
Yes.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Mr. Spector, you keep saying that's not true, and I keep telling you that I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me your version of the events, but you keep interrupting. That's not a smart thing for you to do, because it makes you sound a little bit nutty, especially since I've told you twice not to do it.
I apologize.
Good. Now, why do you think he should pay for you to move?
I need to move, and it's due to his harassment.
Tell me about his harassment.
His harassment is the 2 threats that he's made in my life.
Well, you told me about those 2 threats. The 2 of you can't live together on the same planet.
At the same time, therefore one of us has to die.
Okay. Well, maybe he's talking about himself.
I asked him if he intended on committing suicide. He said he didn't do suicide. He had connections and people that could take care of things.
Go ahead.
And I don't feel safe at where I'm living now.
Tell me about his harassment.
He's made 2 threats in my life and says that somebody else can take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Now, what's the $600 that you say that you owe him?
During the relationship, he paid for things like when we went out to eat and shopping and such like that. He, at one time, he helped me pay for a down payment on insurance, and he also gave me $250 for my deposit for rent. So that's $350 and $250, so $600.
Just a minute. Ms. Flowers, didn't you realize that once you took money from him, you were encouraging him?
No.
You didn't realize that?
No.
Well, you should have.
A gift.
Well, you should have. Once you accept gifts and things from someone, and in this case, not only gifts and things, because you said he bought you things, but cash, you are solidifying a relationship. That's not smart. All right, Mr. Spector. To your version.
Your Honor, I have never realized that when I started the relationship it was going to end this way. I met Bonnie in January. I met her in the nightclub. She's a blackjack dealer.
I don't care where you met her. You met her in January.
I met her in January.
Look at me. Don't look at your paper.
We
right here.
enjoyed each other's company tremendously.
You dated?
We dated. I have, we've been always in consent with each other. About 3 weeks into the relationship, I asked her to take a trip to Vegas with me. During that time, we enjoyed each other's company. She asked me to take her to one of the stores in Caesar's Palace, where she wanted to pick out some clothes for herself. We have done that, and at that time, she said that she liked the clothes, but she didn't have money to pay for the clothes. So I said I can put it on my card, and if she likes it, she can pay me back later when she has the chance. She said, that's fine. I have the bills right here.
Mr. Spector, are you telling me that you took her shopping and you told her at this time we were sharing a room together at Caesar's Palace?
Yes, we were.
Are you trying to tell me that when you took her shopping, you said, are you going to pay me back?
I did not take her shopping, Your Honor. She said she liked something in the store that she stopped by previously. She asked me to accompany her to the store.
So you went with her
So I accompanied her to the store, yes, Your Honor.
So you're telling me that you told her that this was just a loan of the money?
I offered her to pay for the clothes because she seemed that she really liked the clothes, but she was upset that she couldn't get them. I said, if you like, I could pay for the clothes.
That I believe. Mr. Spector, do you understand, sir? That I believe.
Okay, Your Honor.
I don't believe the last part of it, which was, and you'll pay me back.
Well, Your Honor, let's put it this way, I'm a reasonable guy. We were about 3 weeks into the relationship. I'm not just going to take some girl, take her out shopping for a couple $1,000s and say, yeah. I mean, I don't do it on every day-to-day life. Yes, I did enjoy her company, but I would not just take her shopping. I'm not a millionaire.
This is a good lesson for everybody. Let me understand this, Mr. Spector.
I am a generous person, yes.
You took her to Las Vegas.
Yes.
You shared a room together.
Yes, we did.
Look at my eyes, sir. You felt close enough to her to share a bed together.
Yes.
But you weren't going to buy her a dress, because that, you wouldn't just buy any casual acquaintance a dress. Is that what you're telling me?
That is not true, Your Honor.
Is that what you're telling me?
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
How unchivalrous
I have
of him.
bought her things on many, many
I'm
occasions.
not talking, I'm talking about this.
That particular occasion was alone. I've bought her things before and after that
Mr.
as well.
Spector, you're not following what I'm saying to you,
I'm
sir.
trying,
Maybe
Your
it's a
Honor.
male thing.
I
Do you
don't think so,
understand,
Your
sir?
Honor.
What you're saying to me is
Trying
you
to
felt
follow you.
close enough to be intimate with Miss Flowers on your trip to Las Vegas.
That's right.
But certainly, according to you, you wouldn't buy a dress for just a casual person.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That's your corporate card?
Yes.
You paid for her underwear on your corporate card?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bonnie Flowers says her former boyfriend, Gene Spector, should pay her moving costs because she was driven out of her home by his threats.
What monies do you say she owes you, sir?
I'm saying she owes me about 20...
For what?
Okay, I have canceled checks here for the insurance.
All right, she says she owes you for the insurance.
That's right.
$350. And can I see the date? Can I see those checks, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor. By the way, the rent check is dated June 1st. That's after she's saying I told her I'm going to kill her or whatever.
No, destroy.
No, it's not. By the way, what kind of work do you do?
I do a lot of different things. I'm a makeup artist, blackjack dealer, that kind of thing.
Because the reason I'm asking is
We're
part of the
forgetting to mention she's
expenses.
an exotic dancer
Just
as well.
a second. Is my mouth moving, Mr. Spector?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Apologizing. There's an interesting line somebody once told me. I think it goes something like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Did you ever hear that line? Sure. Right. The reason I'm asking that question is because you say that you want $1,000 also from him to look for a new apartment because that's how much time it would take away from your work.
About a week and a half to move and to look for an apartment.
Okay. All right, sir. I'm back to you. We're back to you with regard to the money she owes you.
I've not claiming numerous expenses that I incurred during the relationship with her because it was out of my goodwill and I really loved the girl. I thought everything was going great between us. We're not talking about the rental expenses, how much time I wasted looking for an apartment, renting a truck, driving a truck.
What are we? Don't tell me what we're not looking for. What are we looking for?
What we are looking for, I would really like to get an explanation what is inside her head. I would really love to know. I still care for the girl. I have never made no attempts or threats towards her life. I would never harm her in any way, shape, or form. I have not contacted her for about a month. I was trying to forget about the whole thing when I was served with a restraining order. That is really confusing to me. What is she trying to do? I've not made any attempts to call her. I was out for about a week. I was on vacation. She's an exotic dancer. She gives her phone number to so many people. Her phone rings day and night. I have never controlled her in any way, shape, or form. We had an agreement. She wants to see somebody. That is up to her.
Have you ever been arrested, Mr. Spector?
No, I have not.
Ever?
For traffic violations? For traffic violations, yes.
What kind of traffic violation?
Speeding.
Arrested?
Well,
for speeding?
Not arrested.
But stop. No, I'm talking about being arrested.
Well, I had a warrant for a speeding ticket that I forgot to pay, and yes, I have been
arrested for that?
I have been arrested for that, yes, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a financial consultant, and I have an indoor air quality company, as well as appliance company.
Have you ever been married?
No.
You're not going to bother her, are you?
I wasn't for 2 months now.
Okay. That is so inaccurate.
Her restraining order is a...
Just a second. He says he hasn't bothered you in 2 months.
Her restraining order is a way to prevent me from getting my money.
When did you get a restraining order?
June 23rd.
Since your restraining order, after he was served with your restraining order.
After he was served with the restraining order.
Have you had any contact with him at all?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
The person that served him the papers went to his workplace, served him the papers, and got back in the car with me. We drove down the street, turned around, came back up. The defendant, I went down the wrong street. Turned around, came back up the street. The defendant came head on toward my car, blocked me in the road, got out of the car, and came right beside my window.
And said what?
I did not roll down the window. I barely got by his car and the other car beside me, and I swerved around and then I left.
That was the day he was served with the paper?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any contact with him since?
No.
Okay. Mr. Spector.
Am I allowed to say something? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. What you described partially is true. Her friend have come to my office and served me with some papers. I took a look at them when I saw it was a court date there, actually on a date when I was supposed to go on vacation, so I had to reschedule all the plans. I got pretty upset because she knew exactly when I was going on vacation. No. I didn't know what it was. Since I have not talked to her since she called the police, I don't know for what reason, I still have no explanation. In my mind, I would like to believe that what she was doing was not gold digging from me. I really believe that she had some feelings for me. I would really wanted to know what feelings. And up to this date, I have no explanation. That was the only reason I went out of my office when I saw she was outside.
Listen to me.
Yes.
She don't like you anymore.
That's fine. I would like to hear that.
Do you like him anymore?
I would like to hear that.
You want to hear it?
Yes,
Tell
please.
him.
He threatened my life. I don't want anything to do with
that.
him.
That had never happened. Okay. That's a lie, Your Honor.
Mr. Spector?
Yes.
If that's a lie, trust me, sir, this is the truth. She don't like you anymore.
Great.
Understand?
That's fine.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He said that one of us has to die, and he will either do it himself or have somebody else do it.
Why aren't you dead yet?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gene Spector, a financial consultant, says his ex-girlfriend, Bonnie Flowers, owes him for money he loaned her when they were together. Bonnie says she left to escape his threats.
She owes you $600 that she acknowledges. What other money do you say she owes you, sir?
Here's all the receipts, Your Honor. This is a receipt for the shopping that she said she will pay me back.
No.
And this is a receipt for...
Don't say anything till I ask you.
This is a receipt for... She asked me to accompany her to Victoria's Secret because she had a gift certificate from her mother that she wanted to redeem there. When we got there, she picked out a lot of lingerie. When we got to the counter, the gift certificate wasn't enough. She didn't have any money with her. I said, what do you want to do? She said, can you pay for it? I'll pay you later. I said, fine. That's my corporate card.
No.
I didn't even pay for it myself.
That's your corporate card?
Yes, Your Honor.
You paid for her underwear on your corporate card? You expect the government?
I wanted to get a record.
What?
Okay, I am very good with records. I didn't want to pay cash. I wanted to get a record because I felt something was wrong already at that time. I didn't know what. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Did he buy some things for you at Victoria's Secrets?
Yes, he did. He told me several times that he wanted to take me there, and I did have a gift certificate. He said that he wanted to get a bathrobe for me, and we did not find a bathrobe, so we picked out other things together.
Let me tell you, I still have a problem with you, Miss Flowers, and let me tell you what the problem is, madam. When we started this case, you told me that you had some problems with him. You had problems with him practically from the beginning, but certainly by May, June, at the end, he had become controlling. He had gone through your purse, he had gone through your cards, he had read your journal, and all those other things. And on June 1st, you let him go buy underwear for you in Victoria's Secrets.
I liked him a great deal.
Well, if you liked him, then if you want to move, you do it on your dime. Do you understand?
I understand.
Because I'm not giving you any money to move. You're not supposed to encourage somebody and let them spend a lot of money on gifts, presents, whatever else it is, while all the time in the back of your mind you're saying, this relationship is going nowhere because he's too controlling. This relationship is going nowhere because he's too suspicious. This relationship is going nowhere because he's too jealous. If that's the case, you're supposed to do a decent thing and not let him spend any money on you, which suggests to him that your relationship is going somewhere. That's just something that comes under the category of not nice about that. So you feel as if you want to move? Move. Yourself. You owe him $600.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Now, sir, you listen to me. I don't believe for 1 minute that you took this lady to Caesar's Palace and she ran up a $2,000 bill and you expected her to pay you back. I find...
Your Honor, you were incorrect. It was $1,300 for the clothes.
$1,300
We're not talking about the bill for the room and everything else. That amounted to, I don't want to say what. That was never asked of her. That was me.
Mr. Spector?
Yes, Your Honor.
Write it off to a good lesson, sir.
Oh, I am. I've done it.
Perfect. She owes you the $600. She says it was $600. It really comes out to $551, doesn't it? Let me make sure.
No, actually,
no, it comes out to $601. $601. So in any event, the judgment in this case is for the defendant in the amount of $601.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you go, ma'am. I'll be back to your right, please. No, I'll walk you out.
You can walk me out.
On the next Judge Judy.
What she claims is ridiculous. She had a mental problems before that she was taken to the hospital by her mother when she was a teenager. She's a compulsive liar. That was the problem.
He said that one of us has to die, and he will either do it himself or have somebody else do it.
Why aren't you dead yet?
She always promised me that she would leave me her car.
Grandma passed away, and the family is fighting over her Thunderbird.
Nothing was said till after the funeral.
We found everything except for her will.
Is there another will, sir?
There's wills floating all over this place.
You must have had a hot grandmother. She liked Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Is suing her uncle, 50-year-old Joseph Tagliavore. Wendy says before her grandmother died, she promised Wendy she could have her 1991 Ford Thunderbird. Joseph says the car should be sold and the money divided equally between him and his siblings.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise.
Your grandmother, your mother, passed away.
Yes.
According to your complaint, your grandmother, with whom you enjoyed a lovely relationship, promised you
her vehicle of whichever it may be when she passed away, which is a 91 Thunderbird.
When did she make this promise to you?
This was, she had an 88 Thunderbird, I think it was 88 or 89, which my other aunt had received, and at the time I just turned 16, and she promised me then the white Thunderbird, which went to my aunt who also has children and needed a vehicle. So she always promised me that she would leave me her car.
You must have had a hot grandmother. She liked Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
So she passed away recently. According to your complaint, the only signed will makes no mention of that bequest.
No. It was also done in '77.
Could I bring up something, Your Honor?
You, sir, are the executor of the estate.
Yes, according to the signed will, yes.
And is there another will, sir?
Yes. This is a will that we received from a attorney that said that from the discussion I had with my sister, Deborah, which is Wendy's mother, that he had told her that...
Just, you can't tell me all these things. This is all hearsay. You received another will.
Yes.
That is unsigned.
That's the will.
Okay, and this was executed in 1992.
Yes.
All right, so let me understand this. We have a 1977 will which makes no mention, that is signed.
Yes.
And makes no mention of this car bequest. Then you have a 1992 will, which according to the plaintiff does discuss the car.
Yes.
Let me just take a look at it. Mr. Tagliavore, were you satisfied that your mother had, in fact, in 1992, had a change of heart, despite the fact that you didn't sign this will?
Yes, I didn't know it. Yes.
Could you sit down, please? Just sit down. The answer is yes. Evidently there was some dispute that your mother had with somebody else, and she, in fact, changed her will.
Yes.
But did not sign it.
As far as I know.
As far as you know, didn't sign it.
Right.
Is there anything that you know about that I haven't said yet?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In the hospital when my grandmother was dying, my husband, my mother, my uncle Bill, and her other son, and my mother, the executor on the second will, she was telling us that her phone book, bank receipts, her will, stuff for her funeral, everything was in her briefcase. We found everything except for her will, which then in her phone book, in 2 different spots, it is noted, Opendahl, the one that drew up the second will, is her attorney has her will. That's how they found him. This is her phone book.
It says in that, attorney has will.
Has will.
Fine.
And I also have a letter from the attorney saying that he was the one that drew it up, and no, she never signed it, that it was her right to be able to take her copy with her, and it was up to her.
Ms. Cox, so then what I'm saying is accurate. Let's put
Yes.
this in order. We have a signed 1977 will, which you acknowledge does not make any bequest of this car to you. Were you born in 1977?
I was born in '76.
Okay, so you were a year old. She wouldn't have left you a car.
No.
Later, you both agree that your mother and your grandmother had the intention of changing her will to leave you the car, but she never fully executed the will, which means she did not have it signed and witnessed. That's according to you, madam, because you just told me that in her papers, in her book, it says attorney has the will. And if this is the will that you got from the attorney, it is unsigned, correct?
Yes.
Right? Yes, ma'am.
So here we have the problem.
This is a copy of the will from 1977.
I'll take a look at it. Mr. Tagliavore,
That's where
listen
I got
to me.
the address.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you were very honest with me a moment ago. I assume that you love your mother and you know in your heart that she may have not been good at executing this 1992 will, but that was her intention, that your niece have this car.
My mother spoke to me in '96 in November.
Who are you?
I'm her daughter also. She called me in Kentucky, was calling me, and I brought up my will, she brought up her will. Nothing was ever mentioned. She said, I have 6 kids, if there should be anything left, we divide it equally. Nothing was ever mentioned once. Wendy didn't know, none of us kids knew that this other will existed. Mom never mentioned to not a one of us.
Fine, but it does exist.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I didn't care if I lost the car or not. It was
Come
a
on,
simple.
Wendy, come
you don't
on.
know. You do not know.
I know.
Joy.
You
no,
put
you
us
do not
through
know.
hell.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wendy Cox says her grandmother promised she could have her Ford Thunderbird after she died. But Wendy's uncle, Joseph Tagliavore, claims his mother's will says all of her possessions are to be divided between him and his siblings.
How much property did your mother leave?
The automobile was it, basically.
If you went to sell, sir, a 1991 Thunderbird, how much do you think you could get for it?
5,000, maybe.
Maybe.
6, maybe, depending on what kind of shape it was in.
Okay, well, what kind of shape is it in?
It's in very good shape.
Okay,
Low
so let's say,
mileage.
and there are 5 kids?
6.
6 kids. So let's make it easy for this old judge, because I'm not real good in math, as Byrd can tell you. So let's say you can sell the car for $6,000. So everybody gets $1,000, right?
Right.
The laws in every jurisdiction require a will to be executed in a certain fashion. So we're talking here about a situation where the law, Ms. Cox, in this and practically every jurisdiction in this country requires that a will and any subsequent change of the will be signed and witnessed, correct? On the other hand, we're talking about whatever is morally right with regard to this car. I believe that you two people know that it was your mother's intention for her granddaughter to have this car, for whatever reason. I'm sure she has a lot of other grandchildren, but that's what she intended, for this car to go to this grandchild.
Well,
We're not talking about a lot of money here, Mr. Tagliavore. We're talking about at most $6,000 or $1,000 per person who would tend to inherit the money. So maybe we can come up with some way of being fair to your mother's wishes and also being fair to you, consistent with this will, which is unsigned.
Your Honor, I also have a letter from that attorney.
So what? I don't need the attorney. They don't dispute that. Ms. Cox, relax.
Okay, but...
Relax. They don't dispute
No,
that this...
I was just wondering if that would be... I know it's not signed. I'm just wondering if he
No,
can't
I
be a
don't read
witness,
letters
can
from
he?
attorneys. If you want a witness here, you have to have a witness here. What I started to say to you is perhaps we can come up with something that is fair, reasonably fair to each side. Would it be fair for Ms. Cox to have use of this car until she decides to sell it, and when she decides to sell it, the proceeds of the sale of that car are distributed among the 6 of you? So that in some way, the last wishes of your mother would be honored. Would that be reasonable?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm telling you, sir.
You don't understand the whole story, I don't believe.
Well, I'll listen to the whole story.
This started years ago when my mother first told me. She told me, you make sure that you take care of your brother James, which is on that will.
In 1977.
Long before then. But if anything happened to her, she said, you make sure that he gets his share of whatever is left because he will not take care of it himself. The money would mean a lot to him. It doesn't mean anything to me. My sister, nobody else in the family, you know, $1,000, like you say, is not much money.
So what's James's problem?
He's like one step from homeless, pretty much.
Is there something physically wrong with him, or does he have an alcohol or a drug problem?
No, he's partially disabled. He lives on state aid and stuff like that.
So he has money from Social Security disability.
Right. Which is not much.
I understand that.
$1,000 to him is a lot of money. And this is a promise I made to my mother. And then when this thing all started, as far as I was concerned, I thought my sister was supposed to be executor of this will, and this was all taken care of. She comes after my mother passes away. All the children come to my house. They say, we want you to take care of this. I told Mom in 1995 I wanted to be taken off as executor of the will. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. This was all news to me. So I agreed to do it. Then we started searching and finding stuff. Now this has turned into a total nightmare, and I'm the bad guy when the only thing I say there that is legally binding is that I have to do what the signed will says to do. Now this is all the argument. This is all the bull that I have got from my family.
Sure, because
for doing what I was told to do by the law and asked to do by my siblings.
Well, you're right, Mr. Taglavor. You, unfortunately, are placed in that responsibility because it's not just you, but you have 5 siblings that you have to deal with, too.
Right, and my sister Paula says there's another will that leaves her the car, an orthographic will that she cannot find witnesses to. There's wills floating all over this place. But
listen,
none of them are signed
there are a lot of wills,
except
but no property.
Right.
You know, a lot of wills, but one old Thunderbird.
And there's nothing but a car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I did not want to sue him.
Sure you did, Wendy.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You don't know me, Joy. You do not know me. This was the man I thought was my grandfather,
I've seen your
okay?
action.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Wendy Cox is suing her uncle, Joseph Tagliavore, over her grandmother's will.
So I would assume that you cannot speak for your whole family.
Oh, no,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. What do you want to say?
It's funny that Mother never said anything to anybody, not even to Wendy or Debbie. Nothing was said till after the funeral. I mean, she didn't say anything.
No. Just a second. Who didn't say anything?
Wendy didn't say nothing. Debbie didn't say nothing. Mom never said nothing.
Listen
she
to
wanted
me,
Wendy to have the car.
Listen to me, madam.
And I talked to her.
Listen to me.
Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
It doesn't. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter.
It upsets me.
Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Very often when somebody is ill, or even before they're ill, when they are distributing their property by way of a will, and they don't want to create bad feeling while they're alive, they don't want one child to be angry with them or another child or a grandchild to be angry with them, they won't discuss what they're leaving in their will because they figure, when I'm dead, it don't make any difference. So they will not tell their children. Do you have children? Mm-hmm. You have children. Would you have felt badly when you spoke to your mother if your mother said to you, I'm leaving Wendy my only possession, my car? You would have been annoyed with your mother.
I wouldn't.
Sure you would have. And your kids and your children would have been annoyed. Why is Grandma just leaving? Is she the favorite? Why is Grandma just leaving Wendy the car and I don't get anything? Does that sound possible to you?
Well, if it's her, yes, possible, but if it's her wishes. Mom wasn't shy.
You don't, it's not a question of being shy. No. It's a question of not having your kids or your grandchildren annoyed with you while you're here to experience the feeling. Mm-hmm. Once you're gone, you're gone. Ms. Cox, you understand you have a problem.
Yeah.
And your problem is that even under the common law, which forms the basis of every law of every jurisdiction, a last will and testament was required to have some sort of a writing, at least signed by the, what we call them, the testator or the testatrix. That means the deceased. The only signed will that exists here that I see is one that was made in 1977. It doesn't make any mention of a car to you. Your uncle is not a bad guy. If he did anything else with this car, but do what it says to do in the original will, which is dispose of all my property equally among my children, he could be sued by the other siblings for a violation of his duties as executor of the will.
Thank you.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's unreasonable. That's unreasonable. I can't permit that to happen. My sense is he would like to do the right thing. But unless all of the siblings together say, you can turn the car over to Wendy because that's what Mom wanted, he can't do that. You understand? What I think is too bad is that if all the siblings understand that this was Mom's request, and all we're talking about really is $1,000 that you were concerned about for James, because that would mean a lot to him, well, maybe Wendy here would say, I'll give James $1,000, give me the car.
My mother, the executor on the second will, which my uncle is not even in.
There's no second will.
No, but
Wendy,
I know. Okay,
there's
but I'm
no
just saying.
second will.
All right, but my mom did agree to do that. My mom was willing to give my Uncle James $1,000 to make sure he was taken care of, because she loves her brother. It has nothing to do with the Thunderbird.
This is a very good lesson to everybody.
This is ridiculous.
It's a very good lesson to everybody. None of us feel that tomorrow is our last day, so we all tend to put off taking care of business, which keeps things orderly and organized in our lives and prevents this kind of thing happening to a family. Usually when these kinds of things happen within a family, when somebody dies, you're talking about a lot of money. It's absolutely outrageous to me that this is doing this to a family when you're talking about a car, which is the only asset that your mother had. So people who don't take care of their business by keeping abreast of what property they have and how they want to dispose of it and making clear dispositions of that property before they die are not doing their families a favor.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Morally, Wendy, I believe that you are correct that your grandmother wanted you to have this car. Legally, you cannot establish that to me. Moreover, I honestly believe, after speaking to your uncle, that if he had his druthers, he would give you this car. If it was a question of, listen, either the car is mine or it's Wendy's, he would say, you can have the car. He is not in that position. He stands in what we call a fiduciary relationship to his other siblings. He represents them. Unless there is a unity of spirit in that, among those 6 siblings, unless all of them say, give Wendy the car, despite the fact that that's not what your signed will says, he can be sued by them, and it ends up costing him $5,000 or $6,000, probably more with attorney's fees, because he'd have to hire an attorney to defend himself, and you would maybe get the car. So don't blame him. It's not his fault. It's really, unfortunately, your grandmother's fault, because she did not take care of business when she could have in 1992 by signing this will and having a fully executed copy. So this lawsuit is dismissed. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. And out the back door to your right, please.
On the next Judge Judy.
I didn't care if I lost the car or not. It was
Come on,
simple.
Wendy, come
you don't
on.
know. You do not know,
I know.
Joy.
You
no,
put
you
us
do not
through
know.
hell.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
He imported a mail-order bride,
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
but her phone calls made him broke.
Your child bride called her mother a lot. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
That's true. Even taking
At his 23-year-old Filipino wife, Arlene Rowe, when he answered an ad in an international dating magazine. Thomas says when his new bride came to live with him in the United States, she charged a fortune in long-distance phone calls back to the Philippines. The marriage ended in divorce, and now he wants...
This is number 173 on the calendar in the matter of Lowe versus Lowe. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This is your former wife.
Yes.
And while usually the background of a couple's courtship, etc., is usually not germane to the issues of the case, I think that in this case it is. How did you meet your wife, sir?
Through correspondence. A friend of mine told me that about it. He had met a wife overseas, and I tried it myself, and I wrote to Arlene, and she wrote back to me.
How did you get her name to write to her?
It was through a magazine that this gentleman informed me of. His name was Cherry Blossoms, and I wrote to her there, several other ladies too.
Did you advertise in this magazine?
My friend advertised me in there.
Your friend advertised for you? Okay. So you began to correspond, and then what happened?
She said she was about to go overseas to take a job, and at that particular time, we had been corresponding for a year. And
Where was she living at the time?
In the Philippines. And I told her I was going to come to see her and not to go, that I asked her to marry me, and she agreed.
This was before you met her?
We had been corresponding. I told her I was going to go see her,
But
yes.
before you met her, you told her that you wanted to marry her?
Yes, and that's why I was going to the Philippines to see her.
You wanted to marry him?
Yeah, but before he told me about that, I supposed to have like my visa is already ready. Then I told him I have to go because I have my responsibility for my sister. So he told me, and he called to my mom, and he talked to my dad. Then he told to my dad that tell him not to go. I will be responsible for all his responsibility.
For all of your
Yeah, my visa
expenses.
is ready already. Then he told me to not to go.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
How old was she when you began this correspondence, Mr. Lowe?
I do believe she was 20.
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
Oh, yes, I wrote and told her so. And she wrote back and told me no, she wasn't.
Well, you should have been older and wiser, sir.
Yes.
Because the thrust of your complaint is that while you're divorced now, she ran up phone bills in the amount of $3,400 to her mother.
Yes.
But he used my mom. Before that, he told to my mom and my sister because he's working with him.
You mean your family was working with him?
Yeah, like they're working with him.
What kind
so
of
that's
work?
Why, because they have a correspondence. We have correspondence businesses. Then like my mom was the one who's handling his business in the Philippines.
What kind of business?
It's like correspondence services.
Correspondence services?
Yes,
what
ma'am.
kind of correspondence services?
It's called Romance International.
What?
It's called Romance International. I developed my own service and run it on the internet.
Romance International?
Yes, run it on the internet. But, Your Honor, I did not call them for that. I sent them the pamphlets and everything in the mail.
But he told me it's okay to call to my mom. And like, you accept not only my mom, you accept the collect calls from your agent that I talk to them.
Miss Lowe, did you talk to your mother a lot?
Yeah, I talked to my mom.
Did you talk to her for a long time?
No.
When you would call her or when she would call you collect to talk to you, just stay on the phone for a half hour? Sometimes longer?
Yeah. If I talk to him, if I talk to my mom, he talked to...
But mostly you talk to her?
Yes.
What happened when you started to get these big phone bills? Did he complain?
Yeah, he told me, but I pay for the phone bill when I started working. Then he told me I didn't pay for it. The first salary that I got from here, I pay for his phone bill. But he don't give me any money.
Mr. Lowe,
Yes.
What makes you think that I should order her to pay you money for this phone bill?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, she agreed when I was first initially going to take the phone out to pay for just the international phone calls. I didn't ask her to pay for anything else, just her phone calls and calls she made to the psychic for $195. That was all she was supposed to pay for. I gave her money every week, which I have records of, that went to the bank, which was taken out in the Philippines. So money was given to them every week for her responsibility, even when I was not married to her. When she agreed to marry me, I took care of her responsibilities in the Philippines. But in order to keep the phone on, she promised to pay just the international phone bills. That's all I asked. She never had to pay any other bills at the house.
Okay, so she didn't. So you got a divorce?
Yes. Well, no, the problem with the divorce was I wanted to move to Brentwood, and mother told her no, she couldn't move to Brentwood with me, and she had to work her $4.25 an hour job. I was trying to get her a job paying $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I was ready to send her to school. I had taken out a $28,000 loan to take her to school, and the mother told her she couldn't go to school. She had to work.
No, my mom didn't told that. You want me to send to school. Then, like, when they interviewed me, then they told me I have to study like three years to pay $38,000. But you told them that, okay, after you finish your school, you're gonna pay me. I have to pay that for the rest of my life for $38,000.
So what you did you tell her that she was going to have to pay back the tuition?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lowe.
The whole thing was I would have taken out the loan for the thing, and I was very willing to do that.
Mr. Lowe, you married a baby.
Your Honor, when I first married her, she did not strike me as a baby.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
In my untrained eye, sir, this looks like a May-December romance.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that expression?
Yes.
And sometimes men marry women and they're very extravagant. They go out and they spend all their husband's money on jewelry and furs and manicures and pedicures and hats. Do women still buy hats? No.
Yeah,
No.
they do.
Your child bride called her mother a lot.
No, her mother called her.
Or her mother called her a lot. Because she evidently needed to talk to her family, very far away from her family. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
No, Your Honor, the reason they called was because her family kept getting into financial problems.
But you know that. You already know all my responsibilities.
Listen, Miss Lowe, I gather from your answer that you feel as if you have a very strong responsibility to family, even your family in the Philippines. What's supposed to happen when you get married is you're not supposed to necessarily lose that allegiance to your family, but you and your husband create your own unit. You have a mother in the Philippines, you have a father in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Yes? You have sisters?
Yes.
You have brothers?
Yes.
They're supposed to take care of themselves. That's not his responsibility.
Yeah, he told me that's not his responsibility.
It's not. And it's not your responsibility. You're a baby, 20 years old. You got a mother, your father, brothers, sisters, everybody else in the Philippines. All of a sudden, because you got married, you married somebody who maybe had an extra couple of bucks, that doesn't make your family in the Philippines your financial responsibility. When you're married, this is your financial responsibility, but you're not married anymore. I'm just telling you that for the future, because otherwise you're going to be a very unhappy lady the next time you get married. You can't.
I didn't tell him to responsibility for my family. I told him I have to send my sister on school. So that's my responsibility.
Why do you have to send your sister to school?
Because I'm the second to the eldest.
And what about your mother and father?
They work a lot for my for my brothers and sisters. And like that time, my father are sick, so I have to go to work.
So
and
what
like
you're
he
telling
knows
me
all
is,
all of that.
so what you're telling me is, shh, that you had to work here and send money back to your family in the Philippines? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I came here as to his wife, to be his wife. I came here 6 months. I worked for him. In American Embassy, he told that even I came here, I still receive any salary from his business, but I don't get any single penny. He gave me $10, $20. The first time he gave me is $20. And the last one before we leave, he gave me only $10. And like he told me, I always stay in the house. I work for him, I work for his business. I only sleep for 4 hours to work in his business. Then like, I don't get anything. I clean the house, I do everything. And like I told him, he have 1 week salary for $1,000 or $2,000. Then I work for 2 weeks to $200, $300. But I give him all my first salary. So I told him, did I ask you any money from your salary? I didn't even touch your money. Even we have joint account.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
Mr. Lowe, you made a mistake.
Yes.
I believe that your former wife probably made a mistake. Is it your intention to go back to the Philippines? Or are you going to stay here in the United States?
I have to move on to my life. That's all I want.
So what do you want to do? Where do you want to live?
I have to settle all my problem here.
What kind of problems do you have here, Miss Lowe? Other than this one is I'm going to make a non-problem for you. What other problems do you have?
About the status I have
You mean your visa status?
Yes, Mom.
Do you want to stay in the United States or do you want to go home to the Philippines?
I don't know if I can survive. Maybe I'll survive because I work for 2 jobs. I work 7 days.
You
and
work
I
2 jobs now?
Jobs. Yes, Mom.
You send money home to your family?
Sometimes. But I have to settle all my bills.
What other bills do you have?
I have to pay for my lawyer.
Which
I
lawyer?
have to pay for my car and my insurance.
What lawyer do you have to pay for?
For my case.
You mean for your immigration case?
Yes, Mom.
Are you okay financially, Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You think
well, actually, no, Your Honor. I've got, from our marriage, we've got major bills. We've got about $24,000 in back debt.
For what?
Some of it, a lot of it is mine. Then there's $9,000 between the tax stuff that I put off to help her family when I gave her money to help her family, $3,000, and put off paying taxes that I was supposed to pay the taxes
That's
with.
your problem. That's your problem.
Yes.
Mr. Lowe. I don't think she was, except for her phone bills, I don't think she was a very expensive lady to keep. Right?
No, Your Honor. I paid her a salary every week, and the records show I was putting $180 to $200 a week for her to send back home, and I have records for that.
Did you send back that money home?
No, because he owed my mom's money. Because when he sent some money from me, he told me that's my allowance as his wife. But I spent that money on his business. I told him about that.
Mr. Lowe, who initiated the divorce proceedings here in California?
She left the house, so I tried to reconcile with her. I initiated the divorce proceedings.
You got it. See how fast he's a quick study. And did you have anything in the divorce proceedings about this $3,400 debt?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
She
what
agreed
was
to
that?
pay for it. It's
Where-
a marital agreement.
Do you have that in writing?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
This is the one.
Oh, she has it.
Oh, jeez.
When he gave that papers, he already signed the papers. Then the one that he told that to sign it, and I bring it to my lawyer, the second agreement. Because he changed the agreement that it says $3,400 to pay for 30 days. Then he want me to sign that papers.
Just a second. Is there another paper?
Yeah, we
That,
have
Your
another.
Honor, because of the first, we had the first original marriage agreement, and it wasn't notarized. That's why I have to come here now. And because it wasn't notarized, I had to get a second agreement done. I took that to her job. She said she had to go see her lawyer again with that. She never came back with that. We were forced to use the first agreement.
Let me see your judgment to divorce, sir.
This one.
She has it.
I want to see if it refers to the settlement agreement. Oh.
The first agreement wasn't notarized, Your Honor. That's why they could not use that agreement in the court. That's why I had to come to small claims court, because it wasn't notarized before the first of the year.
But Mr. Lowe, you have to understand something, sir. I like to see the right thing happen at the end of a case, because that's what I think that's supposed to happen in court. And if you show me an agreement and you say it's incorporated in your judgment to divorce, I have no choice, and I've explained that to your wife. I have no choice but to give you your judgment for $3,400, even though I don't feel good about it. I don't think she's, I don't think she's stupid, but I think that she was vulnerable, certainly more vulnerable than you are. So I feel sort of badly about having to make a judgment against her for $3,400, considering that she works 2 jobs and trying to maintain herself and send money home for her sister to go to school. I mean, that's hard. But now I have an out. Whew.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You say here, sir, we have no community assets or liabilities.
The second, yeah.
That's what it says here.
Community assets liability, yes.
That's what it says. You have no community assets or liabilities.
That was before, when we first signed that agreement, that was before all the taxes came. So that's when we tried to make the second agreement.
This is dated November 7th.
Yes.
This is dated in October.
Yes, I could not use the first one.
You can't use it?
That's because it wasn't notarized.
So it wasn't notarized, so what am I supposed to do?
That's why when I went to court, the judge said if I wanted to settle this, I had to then take her to small claims court.
Okay, so now, so it's not part of the judgment of divorce, so I'm not bound by another court's ruling.
No,
that
you're
it's
not.
part of another, all right, then that's very easy. Mr. Lowe, your wife is 23 years old?
Yes, Mom.
You're 45 years old, you're a man of the world. She's not. She was extravagant in the way she made phone calls. You have money, not a lot, probably, but certainly more than she does.
Yes,
That'd be a fair statement? I'm not going to burden her with another debt of $3,400. This case is dismissed.
Is that excused? You may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
It's terrible. My sex is terrible, and I don't have experience on bed. That's why.
I told her I would take her to see doctors if she wanted to talk to them with counseling. I had a Filipino sex therapist that was on the internet that I also had her in contact with. I did everything possible to help her overcome that part of her not knowing, being that familiar with what was supposed to be going on in the bedroom. I was very patient with her with that. I figured we had plenty of time. After all, we're both Catholic. We had married in the church. I figured we had plenty of time to solve that.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time. Not only 1 year, 2 years, but because I never had sex with anyone. If I have, maybe I'll be good, but I'm not. He already destroyed my life.
How much much money did you give him when his wife was pregnant?
He needed $2,000.
All the uncle knew was his nephew spent the money on a woman called Nina.
You have a wife whose name is Nina. Do you also have a friend whose name is Nina?
Yes, I do.
This man isn't lying to me.
See, but the thing about it, Your Honor.
To somebody who has so many Ninas, you better be quiet. You got one too many, nephew.
Yes.
Say you lent him some money.
$5,000.
Over a period of time.
Approximately a year, yes.
So I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your father's brother, correct?
No, my stepfather, brother.
Stepfather's brother.
He raised him since he was approximately 6 years old.
So he's not related to you by blood?
No, he's not.
But he considers you his nephew?
I treated him like...
Somewhat.
And you felt close enough to him to go to him when you needed some money?
No, I did not. Because I didn't get no money from this guy.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Well, why do you think he's here?
Well, see, he lent some money to a friend.
You mean your friend Nina?
Yes.
Now, I read about your friend Nina. He says that you called him and said that you needed money because your wife wanted to go home or had to go home to England with the children to see somebody in her family.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of that have a ring of truth to it, sir?
Not at all.
Do you have a wife?
Yes, I have a wife.
What's her name?
Her name's Nina.
You have a wife whose name is Nina. Do you also have a friend whose name is Nina?
Yes, I do.
Do you have children, sir?
Yes, I do.
With which Nina do you have children?
My wife, Nina.
Where does your wife, Nina, come from?
Where does she come from?
That was my question. You
Virginia.
have an answer. I asked the questions, you have an answer.
From Virginia.
From
Blacksburg,
Virginia. And your other friend, Nina, where does she come from?
Where did she come from? We met her at a bar.
What?
I heard you.
We met her at a bar.
Who had to go to England?
Who had to go to England? Nobody. Nobody did not have to go to England.
Sir, did your nephew call you and ask you to lend somebody by the name of Nina money?
No, he didn't mention Nina.
What did he say? Did he say his wife?
His wife, so his kids can visit their grandmother in England. Prior to that, Your Honor, I love my nephew, and I always let him know that he needs something, he can come to me. Prior to that, I lent him $1,000.
Tell me about the $1,000.
Well, he had just got laid off from his job, and he claims to have a 401k coming to him. And
It's not true, Your Honor. That is not true.
Just be quiet.
That's not true.
Just be quiet. For somebody who has so many Ninas, you better be quiet, though. Just behave yourself.
So that was the reason where the money was going to come from that he paid me. And so then he comes and he said, my wife got a, will I send my wife on a trip if my money ain't coming next week? Well, he got $1,000, so I say, well, look, I'll put it all on a credit card. You know, I say, I'll just call up the British imports and sent the tickets right to his house.
And did you do that, sir?
I did that.
Do you have proof of that to show me?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 28 years of age.
Does your wife, Nina, know that you have a friend, Nina?
Yes, she do.
Who went to England?
I had the slightest idea.
Do you know that I'm like a truth machine? Somebody lies to me.
Okay.
I feel it right back here, and I start to get a twitch in this eye. Sir, I've been twitching since you opened your mouth. Because this man isn't lying to me. Now, there may be some
Yes, he
other
is.
nuances to the story.
See, but the thing about it, Your Honor,
But what you're telling me is I don't know what he's talking about. I never borrowed $1,000 from him. I don't know what he's talking about British Airways and tickets. Like there's really something wrong with him.
I did not borrow the money from him. I did not borrow the money from him. What happened was actually, let me explain my side of the story. Okay, there was a friend that I came to him, said that she needed to borrow some money. I didn't know he lent her that money. So he went ahead and lent her a lot of money.
What did you go to him for and even tell him this story?
Why did I go to him? Because at the time we were working out together, we were training, and I knew that his financial, the way when he was working and everything, that he was capable of lending it to her. So I just asked him.
Why would you ask your uncle to lend somebody who's just a friend of yours almost $3,000?
I didn't ask. I didn't say he. I guess she asked him.
You know something? The truth of the matter is, your lying irritates me a lot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Thompson, is that your uncle over here is making up this whole story about you owing him this money.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And later today,
I give laughter with a message. I'm Brother Dre. Those who know me know that I give world-class service.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Ray Thompson wanted to help his nephew, Lorenzo Thompson, by loaning him money. Now he wants his money back.
It sounds to me as if your uncle, who's a nice man, helped you out when you, according to him, got laid off from your job and came to him and asked you for money.
I never was laid off, Your Honor.
Did you tell him that you needed money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
And so you're telling me he's lying when he said he gave you $1,000?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
He is?
Yes, he is.
You have proof that you gave him $1,000?
No, not the first 1,000, Your Honor. In fact, that's why he kind of had me over the barrel. The British imports were putting it all on a credit card. And I mentioned to him, as long as he pays the notes, everything was okay. And because I don't know anybody from England or British. And that's the only proof I have, is that it was on this credit card. I have personally 9 credit cards, you know, that I use. I didn't touch that card, that was his. And I did balance transfer to lower the interest rates because of lower initial interest rates for him.
Well, Your Honor, he tricked me into getting a credit card under his name so he can transfer all that money to my account under my name, which was going to mess up my credit.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You got one too many Ninas, sir.
Yeah, and I kept both cards, which I have right here. Both I co-signed for a credit card.
Now, I believe you, sir. How much is built up on this credit card now for this?
$5,136. It was. This is the old card now. He came to me, his wife pregnant.
His wife, Nina.
His wife, Nina, gonna have a baby. He just started a new job. His insurance won't cover him on his new job, and the county won't let him get on the county because they claim he got a job. So he needed $2,000. He swore he'll pay me $200 to $500 a week. I knew that he couldn't with 3, 4 kids. But I say, as long as he paid that monthly note, it would be okay.
That is not true.
So how much money did you give him when his wife was pregnant?
Two more thousand. 2 more thousand cash advance on that last paper right there. That brought the total up to 516. But on that very same day, we filled out for Make America, because I figured now it's time for your name to be on it. So that very same day, we got co-credit cards. I co-signed for him. I'm the original. I keep both cards. He wanted it, but I wouldn't give it to him. On that very same day, as I took out a cash advance on that credit card, we got co-credit cards, and we transferred the money to our co-credit cards.
Well, it got all very complicated,
Okay,
sir.
no.
Did you have a new baby?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And you didn't need any money for the new baby?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You had all the money in the world to pay for it?
Yes, sir. I didn't have all the money in the world, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a certified trainer and also a sales rep at Home Base.
What's Home Base?
Home Base is like a do-it-yourself hardware store.
Mm-hmm. So what you're telling me, Mr. Thompson, is that your uncle over here is making up this whole story about you owing him this money.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. So it comes down to a question of credibility, who I believe, because certainly what he's got here is over the limit of this court, which is $5,000. It's almost $3,000 for just these airline tickets, and another $2,000 for the baby, plus another one that he says you lent him right from the beginning, and you say you borrowed nothing. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not borrow anything.
Actually, Your Honor, he paid me one of them. When it was $3,000, he gave me one. It was about Christmas time.
How much did he give you?
$1,000, but $1,200. I paid $200 on the card, and around Christmas time, I gave him the $1,000 back because it was Christmas, and because.
So you gave it to him as a gift?
No, I lent him another $1,000 around Christmas time. I lent it back to him because I felt bad. It was Christmas time. So it really is $516, but in order to transfer, we couldn't transfer but $5,000. I had to pay the $136, a $47 finance charge.
Mr. Thompson, let me give you some very good advice, sir. Never lend money to relatives.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
My time is money, and I felt that he hindered my time. I could have been doing other things.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
If you have to lend money to relatives, even if it's difficult, always say to them, listen, I know we're relatives and we love each other, but in order for there not to be any problems in the future, let's just memorialize our agreement with a writing that we both sign. Do you understand, sir?
I understand that now.
Do you understand? I want you to remember that in the future. I know that when people are dealing with brothers and sisters and nephews and nieces, they find it very difficult to do that because they feel as if they should trust each other.
Well, yeah, I figure he'll pay the notes. $123 monthly notes, but he stopped.
You don't mean the
that.
notes, you mean the monthly payments.
The monthly, until he got his lump sum from his 401k. And he stopped paying when it got to $5,000.
All right, Mr. Thompson, take my advice, sir. Take it to heart. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Tell the truth, sir, it's important.
All right, excuse you, may step out. Back door to your right, please.
And now the next case.
Parties on Black versus Helms. Step forward, please.
40-year-old Simon Black, a jean company owner, says comedian Andre Helm didn't perform long enough at a benefit concert. Simon wants the fee returned. Andre says he performed as promised.
Mr. Black, according to these papers, you were arranging some sort of a function.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you hired the defendant to perform a comedy act for about a half hour.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're supposed to pay him $400. You said he came to that event, performed only 5 minutes. He was paid, and you want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of an event was this?
Well, actually, Your Honor, what it was is that I was promoting my jeans. I own Simon Says Jeans Company. And Mr. Helm was a comedian in the local area. So I hired local talent to perform and to also promote the jeans. We were promoting our new 1-800 number and also promoting, you know, the jeans and myself.
So what happened? What time was he supposed to go on?
Well, Mr. Helm originally was supposed to go on at 2 a.m. And we, instead of going on at 2 a.m., he ended up going on at 2:45. And what happened was...
It's not what he says.
I disagree, Your Honor.
I know that you disagree. So first of all, it's 45 minutes late. Was that his fault or your fault?
Well, actually, it was neither one of our faults. It was basically what it was is that we were waiting for a crowd. And I told Mr. Helm that if he wanted to go on, he could. But, you know, he didn't have a crowd there. You know, he wouldn't get any type of response. So I told him, I said, well, it's up to you. So he said, okay, well, I'll wait, you know, a few more minutes or whatever. And so he waited, and we both waited. And we were both waiting for a large crowd to come in, but...
2 o'clock in the morning, it's hard to get a crowd there, sir.
Yeah, it is. But in St. Louis, a lot of the clubs, they still stay open until at least 7 a.m.
So he went on at 2:45.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
Was
he funny?
Not really.
Was there a crowd at 2:45?
There was a little crowd. It was a small crowd.
Well, how much is a small? How many people are a small crowd?
We probably had an average of about 75 to 100 people there.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but the club holds about 1,100 people. So we were kind of expecting a lot more.
You lump them all together and you put them in front of the stage. It looks like a big group. Right?
Well, basically what happened
That's
was...
what they do at funerals.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you get a small turnout, they sort of say, could we fill up the front pews? Go ahead.
So anyway, what happened was that he went on stage. He introduced myself, and he also introduced one of the rap artists. And after that, I didn't see him anymore. My security person, Mr. Flager here, came to me and said, you know, Mr. Helm walked off stage. And so I went to the front door security, and they said, well, yeah, he just left. And I said, maybe he just came out to take a cigarette break. And they said, I don't think so.
Okay, so he left. And you had paid him already?
I already paid him.
All right, Mr. Helms.
Well, I disagree with a few things. First of all, we agreed upon 25 minutes of stand-up. We never agreed that I would host the show, and he came to me at 1 o'clock when I arrived.
When were you supposed to start your stand-up routine?
I was supposed to start at 1 o'clock.
These papers that I have indicate a 1:30 start time.
He wanted me there at 1 o'clock for preparation.
Okay, but you were supposed to go on at 1:30. According to these papers, he says 2 o'clock.
Well,
wasn't it 1:30, sir?
No, Your Honor, it was 2 o'clock because if you look at the radio announcement sheet, it said 2 o'clock, and also on the flyers, on the promotional flyers, it also said 2 o'clock.
Okay. Let's say you were there, and you were going to go on at 2 o'clock. What happened after 2 o'clock?
At 2 o'clock, well, actually at 1 o'clock, he said, let's start at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
At 2:30, he asked me, could we wait a little while longer for a crowd? Now, it's not my responsibility as an entertainer to wait for a crowd. I told Mr. Black, I said I had another engagement that morning. I also told him that there was no one here to do comedy for, but I would work with him. He came back and he asked me, could I host the show? On this brochure, I was never labeled as a guest appearance.
I'll look at all of it in a
I was
minute.
told to go and do 25 minutes in the beginning, and he changed it because he didn't get a good response, whether advertisement or whatever. But he wanted to treat me like a calling card. Use me 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Initially, the show started at 3:15.
Okay, so he says it started at 2:45.
It started at 3:15.
And you say it started at 3:15.
The show started at 3:15, and that's when he asked me to host the show. Now, a host doesn't do stand-up. My prices are a little higher for hosting. I'm a professional comedian.
So what did you say to him when he said, would you host?
I told him I really didn't think that he should go on with the show, but I was there, and I had to leave in ample time to get to my other engagement.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Black.
Yes, Your Honor.
You retained the defendant. You bought his time.
Yes, Your Honor.
You had a program to do. You had to wait for enough people to make it worthwhile to do your program. That's what I'm getting out of this, because that's what common sense suggests to me, that you didn't want him to start his program when there were only 2 people in the audience. Even according to you, it didn't get started until 2:45. He says it was more like 3:15. But by 2:45, you'd already used up the $400 that you paid him. When you retain somebody, you retain them for a time. Because of your promotion, whether it was promotion or lack of interest by the public to come and see what you were doing, he had to wait around. That's unreasonable. I wouldn't like that. His time is his money. So you're not entitled to your money back because he was there for the amount of time that you paid him for, and the fact that you didn't utilize his services when you were supposed to because of things beyond his control doesn't mean that you get your money back. This lawsuit is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Back to you right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He wasn't organized. I do believe if he would have worked closer to me to help plan this situation, I could have got him a bigger crowd. I'm nationally known. I'm an entertainer. I give laughter with a message. I'm Brother Dre. Those who know me know that I give world-class service. I'm pleased with Judge Judy. Thank you.
She's now probably has like a 5% chance of living. I just don't told him to let her go.
A tragic mystery between two neighbors. Was a German Shepherd named Gabby responsible for what happened to a cat named Tasha?
Our dog had her cat by the scruff of the neck, just as if she had found something injured and brought it to us.
Has she ever brought home a sick pet for you?
Quiet in the court, please. All rise. Judges, number 21 on the calendar in the matter of Germain versus Kaplan. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
How long have you folks been neighbors?
Almost a year.
According to your complaint, Ms. Germain, you were the owner of a cat. The defendants own a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
German Shepherd.
And unfortunately, you allege that their dog injured and your cat subsequently died as a result of those injuries.
Yes.
And you are seeking the vet bills that you incurred. Now, why don't you tell me how that happened?
I was in my backyard watering, and Toby came to my gate and called out my name and said, "Candace?" And I said yes, and she was very calm about it. So I said, "Go to the front door," because my gate was locked. So on my way to the front door, I stopped, I got a glass of water. I took my time because it didn't sound urgent. I got to my front door, I saw she was holding my cat, and I said, "Oh," I go, "my cat looks dead." I go, "But sometimes they look that way." Then I noticed her tongue was hanging out of her mouth, and I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" And she said, "Well, we had just gotten home with our family, and I let my dog in your yard, as I usually do, to go to the bathroom."
That's not true.
That is exactly what was said. And she said, it took me no more than a few minutes to bring my baby carrier in the house, and then she said the dog came back with my cat in her mouth.
Where had your cat been?
The cat was in my yard at the very top of the back of the gate, which is like behind my house.
But in your yard?
Yeah, in my driveway.
So you took your cat, and what did you do with the cat?
Well, I took the cat, and I couldn't find my keys, so I insisted that she take me to a vet, because I didn't even know where a vet was. And
how long had you had the cat?
10 years.
What kind of cat was it?
A Himalayan.
What color? Blue Point, Teal Point? I know a little bit about cats.
I'm Blue Point.
I love their faces, don't you?
I know, they're a totally different kind of a cat, if you know. They're not like regular cats. My son had seen the cat up in the driveway 5 minutes prior to her coming to my fence with the cat.
Okay, so you took the cat to the vet, and what happened when you took the cat to the vet?
They said she had severe trauma, and that they did x-rays on her, and they said that she needed to stay overnight for care, that she wasn't well enough for me to take her home, but they didn't provide care there. So I had to take her to Studio City for overnight care. And they told me, just go ahead, pick up your cat at 8 a.m. She'll be, ready to go back to the vet. I called them right before I left my house, and it seemed everything was okay. When I got there, they said that she's gone the other direction. She'd never make it back. So they had me bring her next door for surgery.
You want to take a minute? 1 minute?
So I took her, or they transported her next door to the Studio City Animal Hospital, where they spoke with me, and they did not say that, she's not going to make it or anything. They just said that we can't, say either way. And I said to go ahead. And
what did they want to do?
They said she needed to do surgery because her lungs, she had a leak in her lungs, or air in her lungs, from the punctures.
So they did the surgery?
Yeah. Then they sent her back over to the overnight, and I kept checking on her. One time I checked on her, and they said she was stabilized, and then I checked on her again, and they said she wasn't doing well. And then at midnight, they called me, and they said, she's now probably has like a 5% chance of living. And she'd already been through a lot, so I just told them to let her go.
And what were the veterinary bills that you incurred?
I have them on here. $1,434. And that's just from Studio City Animal Hospital, the overnight care. I paid cash. That was a couple $100. And then Sherman Oaks Veterinary, the first place I took her to, was a little over $300.
Do you have those bills?
Those are all the bills. That's the overnight. Here's this. Actually, this is the total for, and then here's Sherman Oaks Veterinary Group.
Thank you. I have $1,786. Does that sound right?
I don't know. I didn't add
Between
this.
these two bills, yeah. Okay.
There's three bills.
Who's going to speak? Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan?
I am.
Tell me what happened on that day.
We were at home. We had finished our dinner, and then we went out to get my daughter's booster seat out of my husband's car, and we brought the dog out with us. She comes out with us oftentimes and stays right near us, or she'll go piddle and come back.
But she was not on a leash.
She was not on a leash. So she walked out with us. We walked to the car, which was about 10 steps from our front door, opened the door, pulled out the booster. Mark went around to the trunk of his car to open up the trunk and looked on the sidewalk, and our dog had her cat by the scruff of the neck walking gingerly towards us as if she had found something injured and brought it to us. And I even reached out and I pet the cat. Cat felt dry, bone dry, fine. Didn't even have any indication that anything was wrong, looked up at me, and I thought, well, I don't know why she even brought it over. She's never done that. And we started to walk away. The cat got up and started to walk towards the house. And when she was walking, I thought she looked a little funny. So I thought, well, let me check and see. Maybe this is the way the cat is, or maybe there's a problem. So I picked up the cat, and she still hadn't said anything. We hadn't heard anything, seen anything. I picked her up, and I went to Candace's front door. I knocked. There was no answer. I heard watering in the backyard, so I went to the gate. I yelled out about 4 times to Candace before she answered, and I said, I think there's something wrong with your cat, but I'm not sure. Can you come to the front, come, let me in? And she said, the gate's locked. I'll go in the front door. I'll come out. She came to the door after just a couple of minutes, and she looked at the cat. She said, oh my God, what's wrong with the cat? Is the cat dead? And I said, I don't know what's wrong with the cat. Gabby brought her to us, and I don't know what's wrong. And I tend to be a calm person by nature, so I wasn't melodramatic about it. And all of a sudden she said, oh my God, her tongue's out. And then Candace started, oh my God, is she dead? Is she gonna? And she just, with the tears and screaming and carrying on, and she was very upset, which I could understand. Being a pet owner, you get upset if there's something wrong with it. So I took Candace to the vets with her cat. And at that time, the vet had said it could be, it appears to be a puncture. She could have been hurt. It could have been from an animal, bite, whatever. But they didn't know, so they took her back to stabilize her. And it wasn't until the next day or the day after she came over with bills and handed them to Mark. And Mark said, well, what is this?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know how long it takes to hang somebody?
Well, it takes a while.
Less than 2 minutes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Candace Germain claims her neighbor's dog killed her cat and wants Toby and Mark Kaplan to pay all the vet bills.
Ms. Germain, I have a few questions for you. I have to get the logistics. Was your cat within a confined area?
She was just on the, no, she wasn't. She was just on the other side of the fence.
And do your 2 properties abut each other?
Yes, our driveway's between the 2 yards.
So that your cat was outside of an enclosed area, and your dog was
in my yard.
Outside of an enclosed
Was
area.
outside of an enclosed area.
That's
and
correct.
when we saw her, she was on the sidewalk in the front.
Her dog went into my yard.
But you didn't see that.
There are many dogs in our front yard all the time.
Can I say that my cat, because she's an indoor cat and she'd accidentally gone out, never leaves that top of that driveway. She does not walk around the front of the yard because she's usually in the backyard.
You know what we're talking about, Ms. Germain? What we're really talking about is there is a certain responsibility that you have when you let a pet, whatever that pet is, outside without a leash, or a cat outside without being confined to an area. What I was trying to ascertain was whether there was any proof that their dog somehow got into your fenced property where this cat was.
No.
And there is none. So the next question is, did the dog actually do the damage to this cat? Now, I want you to describe to me how this German Shepherd came to you with this cat in his mouth.
Well, she was carrying the cat by the scruff of the neck like a female dog would carry its pups. And the cat was just sitting there. She wasn't trying to get away. She wasn't doing anything. She was just carrying.
She doesn't know any
There was
better.
no sound. There was no skirmish. There was no anything going on. And the dog walked right up to Mark, right up to him like, you know, there's something wrong here.
Well, you know, sometimes I have seen dogs, I don't know whether you have, come in with squirrels, come in with all kinds of little creatures outside to sort of bring a gift home to their owner. Look what I have for you. And they're not bringing that home to say, listen, this is an injured pet, and I'm coming to you because I want you to fix it. They're coming to you and say, I have a trophy to give you because I love you.
फोटो तो खींचना है तो आजा मेरा स्टूडियो लेंस से ज्यादा तेरा आंखों में है जादू फ्लैश तो ऑन करके खींच तू मैं सटर दिखने में लग रही थी तो लुक लाइक बटर क्लास में होती तू तो हार्ड सेल टॉपर गाड़ी से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर थोड़ा तो पोज देते हाथ में मेरा कैमरा because I'm your photographer.
Your supposition that she was bringing you home a sick pet to show you that she had brought home an injured animal is merely supposition. I want to tell you right now that it strikes me more likely that, for whatever reason, she was bringing home a trophy to her owners. And unfortunately, the trophy was hers.
I am so lucky क्योंकि मिली मुझे baby girl. I assisted में भी रखूंगा मैं ऑटो पर प्यार से ज्यादा मेरा नजर तेरी फोटो पर फोटो से ज्यादा tutorial में करती क्लास मिलेगा नंबर तुझे माइनर नहीं ब्लास्ट प्यार में दिल देखना नहीं क्लास खींचने में फोटो तेरी out of flash मैचिंग तो हाइट है चेहरा तो ब्राइट है ड्रेस में एकदम तो लगी सो साइट है फोटो में खींचूं तेरी होगा ना लेने तेरी फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बहुत सारी लाइट है धूप से बचने के लिए बनूंगा मैं फ्री किसी तो रहना नहीं थोड़ा हो जा फ्री फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बेस्ट है मेरा कैमरा क्योंकि I'm using Sony Alpha 3 आंखें तो रुका मेरा देख के तेरा ऑफर कार से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर तेरे साथ खड़ा हूँ पर हाथ में लेके कैमरा because I'm your photographer.
You just told me never did anything like this before. But did it now?
Carried a cat to me, yes.
And so, based upon the proof that I have, which is she had a live cat with no problem, and your dog brought her cat, your big German Shepherd brought her little Himalayan cat in the mouth. The cat suffered trauma. Cat didn't survive. It appears to me that I am satisfied by the required quantum of proof in these proceedings, which doesn't have to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It has to be proof by what we call a preponderance of the evidence. You know, more evidence than not. Your dog caused these injuries, so you're responsible for these bills. I would also suggest to you that when you have a big dog, and now you have a big dog that for one reason or another brought you prey once, that you see to it that that dog is not let out without a leash, even for a minute, unless it's in your enclosed property. Because you never can tell a dog that is perfectly fine for years and years all of a sudden goes off like that. So I am satisfied that the injuries that were caused to her cat, which resulted in the cat's death and the subsequent medical bills that she is responsible for, were a result of what your dog did, and I'm awarding the plaintiff $1,786. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you. Excuse, you may step out. I'll back to your right, please. Sure.
Thank you. We wanted to keep peace in the neighborhood and not have problems, and it hasn't been since this incident. In the rudeness towards us from them, the cold shoulders, which is understandable though, and then sprinklers shooting up over our cars that are on our yard that haven't been fixed, and loud music that vibrates our house and everything, and so, you know, they're just rude to us.
Parties on Bonnet versus Roberts. Step forward.
35-year-old engineer Ronald Burnett is suing his ex-wife, Sandra Roberts, over a check that bounced.
Mr. Barnett, the defendant has been served in this action and has not appeared, so I'm prepared to enter a default judgment in your favor, sir. But before I do, there are several questions that I have.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, the defendant, who is your ex-wife, borrowed money from you.
Well, actually it wasn't borrowed. She asked for the checks, or she gave me checks because she needed the cash immediately. And her landlord...
First of all, why would you lend your ex-wife money in the first place?
Well, she was living with me.
Why?
Why? Well, she has a 2-year-old son who, well, actually he's 5 years old now. He's 2 years old when I first met him. He doesn't have a biological father of record. So he called me his father, and I'm very attached to the little boy. So I went and allowed her to come back and live with me for the little boy's sake, because she come back from wherever, Missouri, I believe it was, and until she found a place of her own. I allowed her to stay with me.
How long did she stay with you?
Oh, it was about 3 months till about January. And then an incident occurred where she started having a lot of her male friends calling in the middle of the night, and she'd talk to them for hours. She wasn't providing anything around the house. She was like basically living as if I was, a parent or something, taking care of her. And so I asked her to leave, and then she got violent one day on the car. I was picking her up from work. She didn't have a vehicle at the time. She took the mirror off and started hitting me with it and stuff. So I said, you have to leave. You have to go. And it's not good for the environment of your son. So she got an apartment and all. Well, she started getting behind on her bills because she, for whatever reason, and she basically wanted to either come back to live with me or, she needed help with her bills. So for the little boy's sake, and I still have feelings for her. I mean, I know in my head that, it never worked out between us. I still care for her and adore the child. So...
Do you visit with the child?
I was up until recently, until all this mess with the checks go, and so I haven't seen him quite a while now.
That's too bad.
Yes, it is.
That's
I feel sorry for the little boy, and then I feel sorry for myself, of course.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much did you give her that she failed to return?
Okay, what it was at the time I didn't even have the money, but she needed $250 immediately for her rent in cash. So she wrote me a check out, but I didn't have the cash in my account at the time. And she needed it that night. Then I finally agreed to give it to her. So I went to the National Check Cashiers, and they have a $37.50 charge. So she wrote me a check for the $250 plus the additional $37.50. And then she told me about her car being in the shop, and she couldn't get her car out unless she had the money for it. And it was additional $250. So we went to her car shop, and I wrote her $250. And she told me at that time, she says, well, I get paid Saturday. This is like on Thursday. She said, the money will be good by Monday. So she wrote me the second check for $250, which is what I wrote out to the car dealership. And I have all this information here.
So far I'm up to $537.50.
Right. And so it comes to Monday. So I held up. I didn't really need the money at that time. So I held up to the Monday, go to her bank, and I asked him, I said, do you have the money in the account? No, we don't. So then I tried getting a hold of her. She avoids my calls. And...
but she still owes you the money. She stopped payment. According to your paper, she stopped payment on these checks.
Yeah, well, eventually, then I deposited the checks. I was trying to do is prevent her from getting her bounce check charges and from me getting them.
So all told, including, sir, the fees for these checks being stopped, came to $602.
Right, well, that included the mirror, because one of the things I was asking for was that she reimbursed, because then when I got upset with this, she promised she would never hit me with the mirror and stuff again. Then she turned around and then she did this with the check. So I said, well, I'm going to go for a reimbursement of where you broke the mirror. That doesn't count the medical payments of where she injured me with the mirror.
How did she injure you with the mirror?
Oh, when she broke it off, she started beating me with it.
Where?
Oh, I put my hands up, so I have them about my wrist and arms and stuff.
Mr. Barnett, you better put a period to the end of this relationship.
Oh, it's already happened.
Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $602, the amount of his request. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, step out, sir.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She knew that I was right in everything I said, and the judge realizes that also, I'm sure. She's just going to do the same thing over and over again. Actually, I feel sorry for her new boyfriend because she's probably going to ruin him like she has me, so.